Hello everyone, welcome to yet another episode with Be Money Wiser. We are carrying on with this conversation that is empowering us to make wiser decisions with our money. And today we have yet another interesting experience. Following through to the topic of the day, which is managing credit card debts and online shopping. Let's listen to this experience and let's pick a point or two.
My name is Robert Ongodia. I'm an economist, and my personal experience and story about personal money is that it affects both poor people as well as rich people. I've had trouble myself because of lack of discipline, because of falling into the trap of convenience with online platforms. And also because of lack of planning. Specifically, my example that I would like to give you is I had a very big credit card debt, which just grew and became unsustainable because I was seeing this convenience of shopping from Amazon, shopping from eBay, and I just kept on. I didn't ask myself what I needed. I bought umbrellas which I didn't need. I bought things which I didn't need, accessories which I didn't need, and by the time I realized my credit card debt was very, very unsustainable. I also opened a lot of credit card debts, which was not a wise thing to do, and so I had to really rethink about that and make a few amends in my life. First thing that I did was that I started planning, and I started setting long-term goals, really long-term goals for when I retire, when I'm 50, when I'm 40. So I became good at setting long-term goals. Second thing that I did was that I went into this practice of planning and putting everything into a spreadsheet together with my wife, so we could put there our salaries. We were very, very transparent about it, putting there all expenses that we incurred, and at the end of it we projected for 12 months, and we do this on annual basis to find out whether we are able to live within our means, whether we are able to meet our long-term goals. So that helped a bit. The other thing that I've done is that I've learned to be disciplined, and this is something that I'm preaching even to my children. I have a daughter who is just qualified from university and has gotten a job, and I have been very, very vigilant at educating her about personal money. So that she doesn't end up in the same scenario where I am, and so she's now also taken on the spreadsheet and does planning for her life. I've also been very, very careful when I'm doing any online shopping. I ask myself, do I really need the thing? Sometimes I sleep over it, spend a day and think about it, and I have found that has been very, very helpful. The other thing that I do is that at the end of the year, I make my personal annual returns, and I ask myself, did I really achieve the goal that I wanted to achieve this year? What have I done with my debt? How much lower has it gone? So that has really helped me and helped other people around me. At the other end, of course, you have to really be disciplined, be mindful of constrain your cash flows. That's what I have done. In fact, during my first arrival in Washington DC, I had this salary, which was a nice salary, and of course, without discipline, you're buying all these things online. Living in a rented apartment, and I told myself I had to do something. So I started constraining my cash flows. First of all, setting a long-term goal. I wanted to have a house of my own. in the city. So I constrained my cash flows by getting a mortgage, which really helped me to pay for accumulate assets for myself. I started saving more in the company savings scheme, and I started seeing my savings, forced savings, increasing. And then I eventually, the equity in that house grew. It grew. I sold that house, and it allowed me to move to a better neighborhood, and still increased my mortgage once my earnings had also increased, to continue constraining my cash flows, so that I don't have free cash which is lingering around, which can make me reckless. So those are some of the things that I've done in my life to ensure that I have some bit of financial health. Thank you.
Wow.
All right, you've had this experience. This is a very influential gentleman in Uganda today, but if you listen to the experiences that may have made him make mistakes with his money in the past, in spite of him being an economist, you can appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen, it can happen to anyone, whether someone is rich, like he said, or poor. But all in all, credit card debt is very easy to get overboard. Now you find that most of these payment systems make our lives easier, make our lives more comfortable, but it is up to us as people to develop that discipline, to use them only and if you really need these services.
I think this is a story that all of us can relate to. Looking back a few weeks when we had Black Fridays here, and then the digital payment systems that we have in place at the moment will definitely influence you to pay for anything that entices you online, because you have money at your exposure. It's just a click of a button, and then the payment is done and you have your products. And for his case, you can see having over 5 credit cards that he was using. See, so you have money at your exposure. It's not about your needs, it's about your desires, because you reach an extent where money is available, and unless you're limited by circumstances, then anything that you desire and you have the capacity to pay at the moment, you would definitely give out the money. How can we avoid something of that kind, Alex?
From Mr. Robert Ongodia, who is the currency of Opportunity Bank, you really see that what Hilda was saying, that everyone can make a money mistake, regardless of the level you are on. But the good thing, later you saw how Robert was helping the children to learn from his mistakes. Most of us really want to learn from our own mistakes before we go into the same mistakes and feel it, want to learn from it. But it also shows you that whichever level you are in, whether you're a junior officer, whether you're a small person or anything, it's normal. You've made mistake, come over it and learn, have a learning lesson.
But that lesson.
Yeah, but it also brings clearly the difference between a debit card and a credit card, which most of the people confuse. Debit at least is fairer because you're using the money that is already on your card, but a credit card is
and it limits you. Debit limits you. When the money is out, you stop. But now credit, you can even go over and above.
And the bank keeps earning, approving. For them, they are doing what they're making more money, they're making more profit, while for you are digging yourself into the hole of debts.
I think it's very wise to always find a way that you can easily keep your money, or keep your money at use, like he did to start up saving schemes at his company. And again, you can see he's trying to engage the daughter and make sure that she doesn't make the same mistakes like he did. What is the role that the parents can play to help their children grow up with that kind of financial discipline?
The child should respect money, should value money, should attach purpose to the money, should know the difference between a want and a need. Having a soda every day at school is a want or is a need? Do you really need a soda every day? Can you save buy a chicken? Can you save buy a piglet? Can you save buy a goat? Can you save and buy a cow? That's something we should teach them. You save for what? Are you saving for a purpose? Are you saving for a reason? Or you're just saving still to spend? Those are the common things that we really teach the children at a very young age. That's why the piggy banks are even there.
Yeah. when they grow a bit older, they do not have to make the mistakes their parents made.
I think
So-
the issue of online shopping is one that we shouldn't despise.
Yeah.
The fact that you're exposed to be interested in buying every time, whether it's at midnight you're on your phone and you're seeing advertisements
fun
of
swapping.
products. The same, some people
It's so
have
convenient.
some people have issues just moving around town, that when they see something is interesting, mostly for ladies, they move around and see anything interesting, whether they have money or not. You find someone calling their friends at home to send them money to buy. So how about if you're looking at the products on your phone on a daily basis? Meaning, if you have cash at your disposal, definitely you're going to be spending that money. But you can avoid that by having systems that help you to manage your money well. For example, having a saving schemes that every time you have money that you have not planned for, at least you take that money to be saved. See you next time.